What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTP Sports, and before we get into this Eagles dominating victory today over the Lions, the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. We are getting very close to the 400 subscriber mark. I think we're like 10 away or something like that. I keep tracking the numbers every day, and most of the time I forget what the numbers even are. So if you're a new sub or just a new viewer coming to the channel, viewing for the first time, I definitely recommend hitting that sub button, joining the family here. Or if you're just a long-time sub, I think you're crazy for doing that, being here for so long. You're just a goddamn maniac, but I thank you for it, and I'm grateful for that. Definitely share it out, get people to join here, sub to the channel, get over that 400 sub mark, and continue to grow from there. So let's get into the business today. A dominating Eagles victory over the terrible Detroit Lions by a score of 44-6. The Eagles, they moved to 3-5 on the season, all three of their wins coming on the road, and the Detroit Lions moved to a miserable 0-8. I am very sorry for Detroit Lions fans out there for just how basically miserable your team is. The team is just goddamn awful. And yeah, I was one of the people that was joking this week that the Eagles would most likely lose to the Detroit Lions just because that's how bad they were playing over the past couple of weeks. But at the end of the day, when you look at reality, the Eagles are nowhere close to as bad as teams like the Detroit Lions, the New York Jets, or even going back to when the Cleveland Browns were a terrible team and one of the worst teams in football a couple of years ago. The Eagles are nowhere close to that level. They still have talent on this team. They have veteran talent. They have young talent. They're one of those teams to where they're not good, but they can still beat bad teams. They're good enough to beat the bad teams, but they're not good enough to beat the better teams in this league. That's where this team is at right now from where I see it. And that's basically what happened and what showcased today. A team that was capable of beating down on a poor team, a team that you should beat, and that's what the Eagles did exactly today, and especially on the run game. Ironically, when you don't have Miles Sanders in the lineup, he's going to be out for the next 3 weeks, I believe, and you run the ball with Boston Scott and Jordan Howard coming off of the practice squad, and you were dominating on the field, the run ball, the entire day. You barely passed the ball. Jalen Hurts only had 14 attempts today throwing. He went 9 of 14, 103 yards total. So he had just a quiet day throwing-wise because there weren't really that many plays where they threw the ball. And also, once you get into that, outrageous lead when you're up by like 30-plus points, almost 40 at this point, you bring in Gardner Minshew, just, run the ball out, run the clock out, just so you can end this game as quickly as possible. So for the run game, a lot of runners used today. So Jalen Reagor basically on the first Eagles drive, I liked the way that they were using him running the ball, coming through the slot, and he would just grab the ball from Hurts, run around using his speed to grab those first downs. Sadly, he got injured on that touchdown drive with an ankle injury, and he did not return, so hopefully nothing is as bad as it looked or as it sounds. But the use of Jordan Howard, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, even though Boston Scott and Jordan Howard were more of the dominant ones on the field today, Boston Scott got 12 carries for 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Howard got 12 carries as well, 57 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Reagor, he ran the ball a couple of times, got some nice gains for some first downs, so the Eagles were very dominant on the run. They ran the ball 46 times, a rare high amount. They ran the ball more than they passed because the Eagles, they passed the ball 16 times. They ran the ball 46 for a total of 236 yards. Looking at the receivers in this game, Dallas Goedert, he got 6 receptions for 72 yards. Quez Watkins, 2 for 18. Devontae Smith, he didn't get as many targets in this game. He only got 1 reception for 15 yards. And then your various other receivers. Defensively, this team was dominant. The Detroit Lions are just a bad football team on offense. And then the Eagles' aggressive defensive front, which just bulldozing them the entire game. Josh Sweat with 2 huge sacks. Jared Goff got sacked, 5+ times in this game. It's ridiculous how many times he was able to get sacked by this Eagles just aggressive defense in this game. Josh Sweat. You got Marcus Epps being just aggressive in the field. Other guys too. You got Milton getting aggressive, that Milton Williams getting aggressive. You got Derek Barnett, and I said this on Twitter too. You know a team is terrible Well, you know the team that you're facing is terrible when Derek Barnett gets a sack, and he recorded one in this game as well. And also defensively, too, forcing a fumble. Avonte Maddox with a nice punch out there in that third quarter to allow Darius Slay to run it in for the fumble recovery touchdown. So, yeah, basically after that first drive for the Eagles where it was 3-and-out in their own red zone and they had to punt the ball, basically after that it was just score, 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 score. They just ran the ball, dominated on the field, ran the clock out, and managed to get points on the board, which is something that you should be doing against this Lions team. So both teams on their first drives, they punt the ball. The Lions, they do get down the field, but the Eagles come up big on defense, and they force them a 4th down, and they go for the field goal, and they miss it. It was like one of those, it looked like it was going to be good at the start, but then it just hooked and missed it wide left. So it ended up being 0-0 after that. But then you go for the Eagles' second drive of the game, a 10-play drive, running the ball, using Jalen Reagor at the same time, and you're getting that touchdown, which was originally, the first one was by Jalen Reagor, but then he was down before he got into the end zone, so Boston Scott then ran it in for the first score of the game for the Eagles. Defense comes up again, forces the Lions to punt, and then the next drive, the Eagles go and score a field goal, and then the defense forces the Lions to punt again. Eagles get a touchdown. Basically, that's the way the rest of this game. So you got the first touchdown, you got a field goal, you got a touchdown, and then you end the half. And then the Lions, they tried to go for it on 4th down in the red zone. The Eagles came up strong defensively there. Going into the second half, the Eagles opened that drive and half with a touchdown. And then the Lions, they were continuously trying to go for it on 4th down, especially going later into the game. They just weren't successful at all. And after that, the Eagles got a touchdown there. And then the Darius Slay fumble recovery touchdown happened. And then basically it was just dominant defense. Gardner Minshew comes out to basically run the clock down. Then the Lions, they finally broke the tie after they run it in for a touchdown. But basically, this game was just completely dominated by the Eagles. It was just a good game for the Eagles, a team that they really needed to beat, a team that they should beat, and that's basically what it was. Dominance on the run and defense being aggressive on a very terrible Lions offense. Now, this was probably, I would say, the worst game the Lions have played this entire season because, yes, they've had other games this year where they let it very late into the game and they lost the game on a couple of game-winning field goal kicks. So I would probably say this is probably the worst Lions loss this season, but still this team is not the best. They're probably the worst team in the National Football League right now. So the Eagles just went into Detroit, took care of business, got an easy W, and now they focus the next week when they play the Los Angeles Chargers. And also, basically, this game for the Eagles, there's really not that many complaints. Penalties, they were really good on the penalties this game. They only took 2 flags. The Lions, they took so many flags in this game. That gave the Eagles a lot of chances. And there was one weird one at the end of the game where Jake Elliott went for the field goal. And then I think they called it unsportsmanlike conduct where one of the players jumped over one of the Eagles' frontline men. So it was just a weird thing. And sorry for the sun coming in right now. I was expecting it not to happen when I was recording this video, so this is probably the worst time of the day for when the sun comes into this area of the house. So yeah, I apologize for that, but we are going to continue on and battle through. So, really good game by the Eagles. Really just no complaints on any side today. It was just a good game. Very good game by this team, and basically at this point, you just got to focus on the next week. That's basically all it is. I don't take anything. You just beat down on a very bad team. Try to take the positives. Look at how you ran the ball in this game. Try to utilize that into next week because they brought up on the post-game show that the Chargers' defense against the rush this year is absolutely garbage. So try to utilize that going into next week. But it's still funny when I think about that, how ironic it is that they use the run game more than they pass when Miles Sanders is not in the lineup anymore. I just find that funny, I guess. Funny and very ironic, if I do say so myself. So, looking at the Eagles' rest of the schedule coming up. So you got next week against the Los Angeles Chargers, and that's going to be a 4:05 start at home, and then you go to Denver to play the Broncos. Basically, just looking at the rest of the schedule right here, you got the New Orleans Saints the week after that on the 21st of November. Then you close out the month of November against the Giants, and then you're playing a lot of division matchups going into the month of December with the other random matchup against the New York Jets. So you got Giants, Jets, Washington, Giants, Washington, Cowboys to close out the rest of the season of that schedule. So utilize what you used in this game, the run game especially. Try to use that going into facing a tough Chargers team who is not good at defending the run. So that's going to do it for this video, everyone. What are your thoughts on this Eagles win, the performance by the run game, the performance by the offense, and the defense in general? I want to hear all your thoughts down in the comment section below, so don't forget to leave those down there. Do not forget to drop a like on this video. Do not forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer Pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Definitely do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you can do is hit that sub button. I'll greatly appreciate that, and I will see you next time.